I think a commissioned position is very different than what we are discussing today. And
Representative Omar, I mentioned the fact that it's not just limited to commission. It's also for anybody that is demoted. So you can be in a regular job, not part of a commission situation, but if you're failing to perform, you'll get demoted and then you get a pay cut with it. So I just want to make sure that that's...
What occurred today in Washington was notably unusual. An unexpected event unfolded during a congressional hearing, catching many off guard. For once, practical thinking emerged and challenged the usual talking points. This moment caused everyday business owners to pause and truly listen. A question was posed that seemed disconnected from the reality of most people's lives and work. It was so far removed from daily experiences that many working Americans immediately recognized the gap. The question, posed by Ilhan Omar, did not land as intended. Instead of receiving a carefully rehearsed response, she heard from someone with real-life experience. This individual was not a long-time government official or a media-trained advocate. Rather, they understood how jobs, paychecks, and responsibilities function in the real world. The answer was direct, grounded, and difficult to dismiss. It underscored the difference between theory and everyday experience. Ultimately, the exchange altered the tone of the room. The usual script was disrupted, resulting in an eye-opening moment for many viewers. It quickly became evident that this moment would not conclude in her favor. The outcome surprised many and certainly did not follow the anticipated path.
Are there, as a union member for a long time, and I've also gotten an opportunity to work in the private sector, and I'm curious to know if you know of any employer that has a provision where they decrease pay for employees. I find that a little strange, and so I just wanted to know where that thought comes from, and if you know where an employee gets their pay decreased.
Representative O'Neill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I was a business owner. I recently sold my share, so I don't own it anymore, but there are plenty of businesses out there, especially those that depend on employees' productivity, like I was in the trades. So I owned a company that was a tile setting company, and if we didn't get out there and do the work, and if I didn't have highly productive employees, they were paid based on their productivity. So if they had issues, it is very possible that their pay would reflect those issues. If they were on probation for something, for some sort of violation, that could be coordinated with a pay reduction. It's something that businesses do all the time, and it could be the step before someone is actually fired. So it's an important thing, and it gets people's attention, when they see it in their paycheck that their performance does not meet the standard.
Representative Omar.
Hudson, I think did you have something?
Madam Chair.
Mr. Hudson. Was there a question for Mr. Hudson?
No, I think he was saying that he wanted to add something, so I didn't know if he had something to add.
Mr. Hudson, is there a response to the question? Do you have a response to that question?
Madam Chair, yes, ma'am.
Are you saying that you aren't aware of any businesses that decrease pay? Because that was the question.
Madam Chair, I think what Chair O'Neill perhaps could be referring to, there are some instances where the pay structure is different. So for an example, she had indicated that she had come out of the towel industry. I'm not sure if these were commissioned employees who may have been on like an 80-20 split. In that instance, there is a situation where a pay might be reduced. Or if we have a supervisor who perhaps had a performance improvement issue or a behavioral concern, and we demoted this supervisor, that is an instance where pay might be decreased. But just an employee who has not been under some sort of performance improvement program having their pay reduced, I've never heard of that.
Well, Mr. Hudson, I think Representative Neal knows exactly what she says. And I think we've had a little conversation back here when the question was asked. I know Representative Uglum, do you want to speak to that point?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Omar, if you happen to be a salesman in this world, and you can be selling cars, you could be selling siding, you could be selling just about anything, and you are paid on commission. So if you don't sell anything, you don't make anything. So you can have good years, you can have bad years. Probably really one of the best examples is a real estate agent. So it's the idea that people can make less money year to year, not to mention all the bonus situations that are out there in industry. It happens. It happens a lot. It doesn't necessarily happen, here in the public sector, but it's pervasive and very, very common in the private sector. Thank you.
And I'd like to add that in the private sector as well, people, if they are not performing at their job, get demoted, and with that demotion comes a pay cut. And that's not even related to being in a commission position, that's just in a regular position as well. Representative Omar.
I think a commissioned position is very different than what we are discussing today.
Representative Omar, I mentioned the fact that it's not just limited to commission. It's also for anybody that is demoted. So you can be in a regular job, not part of a commission situation, but if you're failing to perform, you'll get demoted and then you get a pay cut with it. So I just want to make sure.
Here's how the exchange unfolded step by step. During the hearing, Ilhan Omar, representing the security of a taxpayer-funded government position, posed what she likely thought was a sharp, revealing question. She expressed her bewilderment that an employer would ever lower an employee's pay. This single remark caused many listeners to pause. For those working outside government offices, it did not sound odd at all. It seemed disconnected from everyday work life. Anyone who has spent time in private businesses, whether in construction, sales, skilled trades, small companies, or performance-based roles, would find this idea very familiar. Pay adjustments based on results are common. They occur daily. Productivity, effort, and responsibility are significant factors. When these elements change, compensation often changes as well. This is not unusual. It is how most jobs operate. Then the moment shifted. A representative from the business sector calmly explained a fundamental principle that many working Americans already understand. When performance improves, rewards increase. When performance declines, rewards can decrease. If someone breaks rules, is demoted, or placed under review, their pay typically reflects that change, not out of cruelty, but because businesses must remain efficient to survive. Companies are designed to create value, not to provide guaranteed rewards. Rather than engaging with this reality, Omar attempted to narrow the discussion by claiming that commission-based jobs are different. However, that argument did not hold up. Pay reductions occur outside commission roles all the time. Managers may lose bonuses, supervisors can be demoted, and employees across various industries see their earnings linked to results. This is not rare. It is routine for millions of workers. Another representative simplified it further. In sales, real estate, or auto dealerships, effort and results are directly tied to income. Sell more, earn more. Sell less, earn less. This system fosters motivation, responsibility, and fairness. It is a model based on merit and is the same economic structure that enables individuals from all backgrounds to achieve success through hard work. Instead of acknowledging this, Omar continued to view the concept as strange or inappropriate. At that point, the issue appeared less about confusion and more about ideology, a mindset where outcomes are expected, effort is secondary, and accountability feels uncomfortable. Meanwhile, the opposing speaker remained calm, respectful, and focused on real-world experience. There were no insults or shouting, just facts and logic. That is why the moment resonated so strongly. Reality does not require exaggeration to make its point. What began as a confident question evolved into a clear lesson on how work and pay actually function in America. It revealed how disconnected some leaders are from the daily lives of individuals who earn their income through results, not titles. Ultimately, the roles reversed. What was intended as a critique became a fundamental lesson in how value, effort, and compensation are intertwined. The larger question remains: How can policies genuinely serve working Americans if they are crafted by individuals who do not fully comprehend how earning a living